You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your early edition spoilers for Monday, February 26th through Friday, March 1st on the NBC Peacock streaming soap opera. There is a lot to unpack. We've got people in comas waking up, multiple people. We have got Valentine's Day do-overs. We've got bad arrest falling apart. We've got medical crises. There is so much to unpack here. If you've not, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. And as I always do on the early edition spoilers, I'm just going to real quick run down for you what's going on the rest of this week, just to give you context on the spoilers for next week. So on Thursday, I lied. We're starting with Wednesday. Wednesday, February 21st, somebody finds a vintage box during that geocaching event in the park. That's the same day that we've got flashbacks of Tom and Alice Horton picnicking in that same park. So I feel pretty confident that that vintage box might be tied to the Hortons, because there's a lot of Horton action happening on Wednesday, in addition to the flashbacks and that. Doug and Julie Williams have company as they go over to see what's left of the Horton house after the fire. Maggie's with them, Roman's with them, John is with them, Marlena and Kate are supposed to be with them, and Thomas DiMera is there as well. They're just kind of looking through things and seeing what they can do. We do know that they are going to rebuild the Horton house set, so it is coming back. I don't know if it was just old age or structural issues and they needed to do a scrap and rebuild, but very dramatic. That house will be back. Julie is going to make sure that it is. And that same day, Leo Stark is asking Julie questions about the history of one of Salem's founding families, of course, the Hortons, and she's going to tell him some stories, and that's when we get the flashback to them picnicking in the park, which could explain why that vintage box is found there. Thursday, February 22nd, Brady and Teresa finally get to see their son, Tate Black. Remember, he's been at that juvenile psychiatric hospital while he's awaiting charges that never, ever should have been filed against him. Jada comes over to confront Everett at his hotel room about their shared history and their life together. Stephanie is there too, and Jada tells her, run away from him. That same day, Stephanie is completely crushed because her dad, Patch, hands her evidence that Everett Lynch and Bobby Stein are one and the same. He shows her a birth certificate and everything. So I don't know. I felt like Everett legit did not know Jada, so there's something going on in his head. Consummate liar, or I don't know, split personality. We'll find out soon. Ava tells Rafe Hernandez about the secret deal she made with Harris and how she was feeding him info. That's probably how they got the info for the raids. And this is when she comes to complain about Clyde having kidnapped Tripp and Wendy. Of course, Rafe isn't going to want to believe this. And so she's going to have to spill some tea on what's been going on behind his back with Harris to get him to see the truth and engage a manhunt to try and find her son and his girlfriend. Friday, February 23rd, we've got Ava at Harris's bedside at the hospital. She's confessing her sins, admitting to all her regrets, and yeah. And then we have Stefan summoned to Statesville for a meeting with Clyde Weston, which I'm sure is going to be quite uncomfortable. And Rafe interrogates Xander, accusing him of shooting Harris, but of course he didn't do it. He insists he didn't do it. His attorney, Justin Kiriakis, insists he didn't do it, and Sarah Horton, his love, insists that she is standing by her man and she doesn't think he did it either. Meanwhile, Constantine Milionis demands some answers from Steve, no doubt, about Katerina's debt, who is not his lady love, but apparently his daughter. Either way, still a valid grudge. All right, going into the following week, I've got a couple of spoilers for each and every day of the week. So on Monday, February 26th, we have got Marlena Evans trying to crack into Everett's skull. She's talking to him about his past, trying to figure out what's going on. And Stephanie goes with him to the appointment, and she is watching all this go on. So she seems to be giving him a chance to maybe prove that he is legit. And we have Harris Michaels waking up from his coma on Monday, which sounds like a good thing, but not everybody's going to be happy about it. Tuesday, February 27th, we have Everett telling Chad about this whole Bobby Stein thing. Like, oh yeah, by the way, apparently I'm a whole other person and I was married to Jada and now I'm here with, my ex-girlfriend Stephanie, who's my current girlfriend. I wonder if Chad is going to try to leverage this in his own favor to get back closer to Stephanie, or I kind of don't think so. I feel like Chad is legit becoming Everett's friend, and Chad's actually a very good person for Everett to talk to about this because of all of Abigail DiMera's, split personality, the whole Gabigail thing. He understands this sort of dissociative identity thing because his wife had it. So hopefully he takes that as an opportunity to share a little bit of his past and, say, yeah, I get it. My wife was dealing with stuff like this. So I think that would be pretty cool for them to talk about. Also on Tuesday, we have Nicole and EJ bonding as they watch over Holly, who still remains asleep and in a coma, even though she is off the ventilator. Wednesday, February 28th, we've got Nicole and EJ thrilled because Holly Jonas is going to wake up. The last day of sweeps, Holly wakes up. Isn't that exciting? And the day before, earlier in the week, we've got Harris waking up. They are really doing sweeps up right, is all I have to say. Also on Wednesday, Alex runs into Kristen DiMera, and these two dish about the progress they are making in their relationships with Teresa and Brady. The problem is, Teresa has run away from Alex and is staying in Tate's room at Brady's place where he lives with the folks. And that's not a good thing for either of them because they don't want these two closer together. Thursday, February 29th, Clyde orders Stefan to do a deadly deed. And I just wonder if this is not the first time Stefan has tried to do this deadly deed. I'll tell you about it in just 1 second. But other big news for Thursday, Lonnie Price and Eli Grant are back in Salem. They are visiting Paulina, who is having a medical crisis. She had the surgery to remove the tumor, but then she went into distress on the Tuesday episode. So it looks like there's something more going on. And then we roll into Friday, March 1st, when Tate is out of the juvie facility. He's transferred to a halfway house and his parents are visiting. That's so weird. A halfway house is usually when you get out of jail after you've been sentenced. I mean, I'm not an expert at it. I have seen some Love After Lockup, though. I just don't know why he would be in a halfway house if he hadn't been convicted. It's days. It's fine. They're going to write what they write. I should just accept it. And we have Stefan heading over to the hospital to kill Harris. So I just wonder if he's the one who shot Harris to start with. I had wondered about that at the time because they showed the shooter's hand, black leather glove, and a hairy arm. So it was clearly a dude. It wasn't that lady cop. And it was somebody that Harris recognized. So yeah, I don't know if Stefan did shoot him before. I don't know how he's going to come back from that. I mean, that is a real mess. Okay, be sure and come back soon because we will have your full roster of Days Weekly spoilers, and then we'll have 2-week spoilers, casting news, and so much more. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure and come back every single day and click subscribe if you haven't already. And this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.